Welcome to the Sinner's Chronicles.
Welcome back to the channel. If you can't tell by now, I'm a huge fan of the paranormal. So, of course I like watching paranormal stuff on YouTube. There's one channel that stuck out to me when I first started watching a lot of paranormal content. It was two kids from Kansas who started on Vine doing pranks and exploration videos. They've now made transition to a lot of paranormal investigations on YouTube and have over 10 million subscribers on their joint channel. Let's take a look at the ups, downs, achievements, and controversies of Sam Golbach and Colby Brock, otherwise known as Sam and Colby. Before I start this video, I did just want to mention that there's so much about these two individuals. It would take me months and probably a 24-hour video to explain everything. So I'm just covering the highlights here. And if you like more information and you like the video, let me know down below. I could do one much more in depth about each subject. Sam John Golbach's story begins in Leawood, Kansas on November 27, 1997, where he was born to parents Kirk and Cindy, and also his older sister Allison. He does have a little brother named Ben, but he wouldn't join the journey for another 2 years. He was very involved in the band where he played the saxophone. Cole Robert Brock, also known as Colby. Colby's story begins in Stanley, Kansas on January 2nd, 1997, where he was born to parents Lane and Lisa alongside his older brother Gage. Colby was very into video games in his adolescent years, and he actually has a Kingdom Hearts tattoo on his chest to prove it. Just like Sam, Colby was very involved in the band class with the school, and that's actually how these two individuals met. In their middle school years, they knew of each other and were basically just acquaintances because they played in the same middle school band, but they weren't really friends. They didn't start getting to know each other until they both went to Blue Valley High School, where once again, they were in the same band class. Most of the band classmates from middle school had either dropped band or went to a different high school, so this is when they started talking to each other again, know each other a little bit. The big act of fate that brought them together was when they realized they had this crush on the same girl at band camp, but both of them were too nervous to talk to her. Once they both realized this, they made a plan to whenever they got back to Kansas, they would start going to the local mall together and approaching random people, holding conversations, which led to boosting their confidence and their social skills. Over time, with all these mall trips, they actually started to bond more and realized they both had the same dream most of us had as teenagers, making it big fast. They weren't sure how they were going to do it, and they weren't really sure if they could do it. The first attempt was Vine, and man, they struck gold. Their Vine content had it all: funny skits, pranks, and causing ruckus in public, which back in the day, we know that's how you blew up. The video that made them blow up was actually inspired by a Family Guy skit called Following Fat People.
I got a job following fat people around with a tuba.
Stop it! Cut it out! I have a glandular problem.
That'll be $60.
Following fat people.
Would you stop that? Please! Stop.
Following fat people.
Alright! Enough! Stop it! Stop.
When Vine was announced to be shut down, they reflected on a bunch of videos, in which this one they said they had posted it around 200 followers and woke up the next day with over 15,000. Even though the video was staged, they were very hesitant about posting it because they knew that it was not a very good look, but they also knew it was their best chance on going viral. Over the summer of 2014, their Vine was growing 5,000 to 6,000 followers every single day. Once Vine did finally shut down, they had amassed 1.6 million followers. After some reflections, they soon came to realize that public disturbances weren't worth the moral and legal repercussions. At least they realized this when they were teenagers, and they weren't some of those full-blown adults nowadays doing it just for the views to stay relevant. They soon changed their slogan to Onward and Upward, which Sam made a video explaining that those were actually his grandmother's final words. Sam's grandma Libby had been battling cancer for around 10 years, including all 4 years of Sam's high school days. In this video, Sam explains that his grandma sent him an email speaking about how one of the things that keeps her going is her garden. She goes out to her garden every day to water and take care of it, even though she's battling with cancer. This taught Sam no matter what horrible things you're going through, no matter how bad life seems, there's always a light to focus on. Sam now credits his face for his positive outlook on life and about always being optimistic even in his darkest moments.
This is Sam,
And this is Colby.
and together,
We're Sam and Colby.
that was great.
Alright.
They started the YouTube channel on October 28th, 2014, and released the first video on November 13th, 2014. It wasn't anything special, it was just a simple little question and answer video. The content they were posting on YouTube stayed the same for a while as they had on Vine. They soon started expanding out to include exploration videos and staying the night in closed and deserted areas where they started racking in millions of views. The first big milestone was November 2017 when they hit the 1 million subscriber mark. One great thing about this is they did not slow down when they hit 1 million. In October 2018, they hit 2 million. May 2019, 3 million. At the time of this recording in January 2024, they currently have 11.2 million subscribers on the joint YouTube channel. Unfortunately, when you are exploring abandoned places, you do run the risk of being arrested for trespassing. And this did happen with Sam and Colby when they were doing a collaboration video with the Ireland boys. All four were arrested on January 16, 2019 in charge of trespassing. Sam and Colby have flown to Florida to do a video with the Ireland boys where they explored an abandoned closed school that was under construction. Unfortunately, this is when they got caught. Crazy thing was that the school had only been closed down for a year, but was already completely wrecked as if it had been closed for 5, 10, 15 years. There was 4 cops at the scene. Apparently 3 of them wanted to let them go, give them a warning, but the sheriff was a 4th cop and he was adamant on all 4 of them going to jail. Colby made a video reflecting on his arrest where he talks about getting arrested and also catching 3. Yes, 3 felonies. Colby got a felony for trespassing on a construction site and 2 more for possessions of fake IDs, which were in the back of his wallet that he had even forgot were there. Sam was able to get bailed out after 8 hours because his bail was under $5,000. He was able to bail himself out. Since Colby had 3 felonies, his bail was set at $6,000, which made him unable to bail himself out. Funniest part about all this is when Colby was arrested, he was wearing a Justin Bieber t-shirt. During all of this, some tweets caused the fans to worry. Amongst all were worried fans, there were some critics that did want to point out that they did deserve this, and it was a long time coming. I'll go more detail into it, but we all know they love pranks. There was one time though where Colby did take it too far, resulting in a ton of backlash and even giving another YouTuber named Sam Pepper such a bad reputation. Some speculate that's the reason for his eventual downfall. The video starts with Colby and Sam driving. Colby's car starts to stutter. He mentions not checking the oil in a while. So they get out, check the oil. Somebody actually throws a sack over Sam's head and wrestles him to the ground. When Colby can be seen running over and helping the would-be kidnapper and taping up Sam. All the time you hear them calling out for his friend, and last word Sam says before he's thrown into the car, anybody, what the fuck, please help me. Video then pans to 20 minutes later on the balcony, Sam strapped to a chair, Colby's on his knees with the bag over his head as if he was also kidnapped. The kidnapper removes the sack from Sam's head. Sam's crying, saying, "What do you want? We didn't do anything." He's trying to talk to Colby, saying it's going to be alright. while this whole time the kidnapper is waving around a gun and even puts it directly on Sam Golbach's neck. At this point, he turns, shoots Colby. Well, as you can expect, Sam Golbach starts crying. A couple seconds pass by, Colby gets up, hugs him, he realizes it's a prank. But to say that this got some criticism is a large understatement. It actually blew up so much that the hack division group called Anonymous saw it and waged a war on Sam Pepper due to him using violence and abusing people to garnish subscribers again. Well, they didn't like that. They told me at 24 hours to either delete the video or they were going to unleash fucking hell. Even started up reaching out to a trusted anonymous source, and well, tweets were in fact fake. But this call out caused a lot of nationwide news sources to pick up the story where Oliver McAteer with the Metro described as an ISIS-style execution. Sam Pepper, Colby, and Sam Golbach all tried to say the video was a prank. But either this is real and it is what it is, it's a prank, or this is fake and Sam Golbach definitely needs to win an Oscar for this performance. Led to a ton of people rallying to cancel all three of them, but Sam and Colby's career got larger. On the other hand, can't say the same for Sam Pepper. Due to all the negativity, he did remove the video, but you can still find re-uploads on YouTube. The removal of the video did not help his reputation though. Nowadays, he's streaming over on Kick, but even though at the time of this recording, his YouTube channel has 2.29 million subscribers, you're barely pulling over a couple thousand views on each video. His Kick isn't much better, where he has 60,000 followers. His clips can still get a decent amount of views, but his recent broadcast videos only get a couple hundred. Don't get me wrong, these are still decent numbers, but considering his top 8 videos range from 2.3 million to 8.1 million views on YouTube, this is a very steep fall that he took very fast. As stated before, I am a huge fan of the channel, but just like every other major channel, Sam and Colby have a lot of skepticism associated with their videos. The main skepticism is coming from their paranormal investigation videos, and people wondering how many are fake. You realize I said how many and not what if? This is because in the video of Brandon Taylor, Colby does admit he's faked a video before. I do hate mentioning it because I cannot find the video, but I remembered they were talking with Brandon Taylor's mom in Brandon Taylor's mom's backyard, and I was on the couch at my last apartment. When the question was mentioned, and Colby gave the answer. Colby said it was one video early in his YouTube career, and the video has been deleted, but if he's done it once, what would stop him from doing it again? What opened me up to the videos possibly being fake was a totally different instance though. Sam and Colby used to do paranormal investigations with Corey, Scherer, and Jake Weber. In the video, The Terrifying Night We'll Never Forget, Bilmore Hotel, shortly after the 51-minute mark, they ask for a sign where Jake Weber's head slowly starts to move up in awkward motion, and then he jerks. As he jerks, the flames on all the candles start to move, and the lights cut in and out. In the later video, reacting to Overnight at the Bilmore Hotel, they show Jake the video of him showing possible signs of possession. Right before the 14-minute, 30-second mark, Sam and Colby analyze the video together with Jake, and they're really selling the possibility of possession, like they're trying to talk him into it.
About whenever my head came up and like twitched. Or
Yes, I was gonna ask you about that.
I don't even remember doing that, but like, you know, I'm pretty sure it was just a twitch.
You don't even remember doing that?
I don't remember most things I do. I probably sneezed 20 minutes ago. I don't remember.
Yeah, but
that.
dude, that was the weirdest twitch I've ever seen. Like, you literally looked like something came inside of you.
What? Excuse me.
I mean,
Now let's go a year down the line to Return to the Shadowman secret ending. When we go to the 50-minute mark, Jake Weber admits he doesn't 100% believe that the ghosts are real. After allegedly being possessed and all other tons of investigation videos they've done, I don't see how there's any chance he's skeptical of ghosts, unless they're fake. He even goes on for the next couple of minutes and basically debunks everything they've done and all the evidence they've gathered. If we say in the same video then go to the sources of Corey being followed by the Shadowman. They make a trip to Corey's childhood home that his parents still own today. About 30 seconds after the 1 hour 38 minute mark, they question Jake on if he believes, if he's still skeptical.
We did get in
Dude,
contact.
do you believe us now, bro? Like,
I can't make it. I can't.
Like, you can't explain that.
Even though they allegedly experimented a lot of paranormal activity in Corey's parents' house, Jake says he's still skeptical and focused closely on Jake when Sam mentions all the stuff that they've been learning over the past year. He smirks and rolls his eyes and then looks away. Not to mention this scene comes right after a cut where they went from being inside to being outside. So what was said in the middle? I will say, right before the 1 hour 40 minute mark, Jake does say he can't explain what's happening specifically, but he also can't believe it. He then goes on to acknowledge the Shadowman following Corey his whole life. Now, am I saying Sam and Colby faked their videos? No. Am I saying that it's possible some aspects are faked in their videos since it's thrill and entertain us as viewers more? Yes. At the end of the day, they're YouTubers. Their job is to make entertaining and interesting content for us to view. Collaborations are a really good way to increase your fan base by doing content with other influencers and trying to combine your fan bases together. In the case of Sam and Colby, their first couple collaborations actually turned into some genuine lifetime friendships. In this section, I'm only going to cover a handful of collaborations because if I went over all of them, I would be here for 12 hours, just in a totally separate video. As covered before, Sam and Colby started doing Vine videos early on together. Jake Weber actually explains in an interview on the Herdwell YouTube channel how they met. Sam and Colby reached out to Jake when they had a couple hundred followers on Vine, but he was at already over 50,000. This was later countered in a video with Sam and Colby when they first announced Jake was moving in with them, where they said they had 0 followers and Jake was at already over 80,000 whenever they had found him. The same video, they also said they met because they made a Vine pleading for Jake to collab with them. He saw it, they came to an agreement. They did all live in Kansas, but they lived 3 hours apart. So Sam and Colby ended up making a 3-hour trip to meet Jake at one of his local malls where they filmed 4 Vine videos together in the same day. Those 4 videos ended up turning into a strong friendship for a few years. Once Vine shut down, Jake kind of went off the grid, just, living his normal life, while Sam and Colby kept the grind growing even stronger on YouTube. A couple years had passed, Sam and Colby decided they were going to go back to Kansas to make a video, and they actually reached out to Jake and did a video called Exploring an Abandoned Amusement Park, which is still on the Sam and Colby video as I'm recording this. This actually ended up rekindling their friendships. Eventually, Jake went to college in Los Angeles, and Sam and Colby actually needed a new roommate at the time. As time has gone on, Jake has begun to separate himself from Sam and Colby. They're still involved in each other's lives, but as far as the social media aspect, they are not involved as much as they used to be. Like I said, that was just social media side. They were still very good, very strong friends in real life. They just don't appear on each other's content as often as they used to. Corey made his first appearance in a Sam and Colby video called Dance's Lessons with Corey Scherer. At this point in social media, Corey had built a huge fan base based off insane dancing skills. As the video says, he's given Sam and Colby dancing lessons. He teaches them the cat spray, the wave, and the backwards worm. This video, you can see their chemistry is all in line straight from the jump, which led them doing more collaboration videos with each other, and even all moving in together. This is the same house they will live in with Jake, but Corey moves in before Jake does. Corey has not been with the group at all recently from what I've seen on social media. I am assuming that they are still best friends. I know he is in a very committed long-term relationship with a woman named Devin. So it might just be one of those life kind of getting in the way things. But but he actually has started another channel with someone I'm going to talk about in a second called Elton, called TFIL, where they go through and they do a bunch of different ghost exploration videos and just some quirky videos every once in a while. Arron Doh is another Vine star that had over 1 million followers before the app was shut down. He made the swap over to YouTube and Vine shut down, but most of his recent success has actually came from TikTok, where he has 7.3 million followers. He goes live every day, and actually pretty often he'll go live with Scherer. I'm not proud of this moment, but I really couldn't find how he met Sam and Colby. I tried looking really deep, and I even went on Arron's live and was asking questions, trying to see if I could find out how they knew each other, trying to reach out to him for an interview so I could figure this out. He wouldn't respond. But he does follow me back on TikTok, so that's pretty cool now. I do know that he did move in with Sam and Colby. It was before Jake, but I'm unsure on the timeline compared to when Corey moved in with them. They're still pretty good friends. There's another segment I'll talk about at the end where Sam and Colby released a video about some news that I got, and it does have Arron reaching out to him. So it's one of those, once again, they're still good friends in IRL, but they're just not necessarily social media friends at this point. Elton's done a little bit of everything. He was also a member of the 1 million followers club on Vine, but since then he's created 2 amazingly popular YouTube channels. TFIL was a channel about him and his friends traveling the world, and actually featured famous comedian Matt Rife before his stand-up act took off. At the time of this recording, TFIL has 3.92 million subscribers. He's also created Overnight, which is a paranormal investigation channel, with one of the co-hosts being Scherer. At the time of this recording, Overnight has 1.75 million subscribers. Recently, they did a charity fundraiser where they stayed overnight at the Warren G Museum, bunking it, kicking it, having fun with Annabelle. I remember watching this and I actually ended up donating a little bit because I liked where the cause was going.
I'll fix this camera too. Okay. Center's Chronicles 100. Oh my god. Thank you, Center's Chronicles. Recently did a video on Zozo, and my wife has been sick ever since.
Look at Corey's face.
So how do I reach out to y'all for business purposes? Ooh. We're about to come cleanse y'all. Is that what you're reaching out? You're gonna cleanse?
Business, my email is on all my socials. Well, let me, before the twins get in here, like 5.
And I don't know, in fact, how long they said, but last I checked, they were on day 4. I know they went longer. I don't know how many days. This is another situation where I'm not really quite sure how they met, Sam and Colby. But in the video exploring the entrance to hell attacked by coyotes, when Elton was lost, Colby does say, "Where's my uncle?" in a frantic manner. I'm not sure if they're actually blood-related family members, or if Colby just calls him his uncle. I do remember a video before where Colby gave Elton a shout out, said none of this would be possible without Elton as far as moving out to California and all that. So I don't know if maybe they just know each other from way back, if they are bloodline family members. That I tried to piece the puzzle pieces together. Couldn't get that out. I just was not able to. Those are all the main collaborations I wanted to cover, because if I went through all of them, I would be here for hours on end and possibly an entire day just covering the different collaborations and who those people are. I wanted to cover those main people because this was the main group that stuck together and rose together. One thing I did forget to mention was Elton actually did live with them at a period of time, so all of them were in the same house, making content together daily, just making some of the best stuff you can imagine. But these other content collaborations range from top to bottom. I mean, all the way from Bella Porch to Carl's Jacobs from Mr. Beast. Tons of in between. The most recent common ones that they're doing are with Christina Lee Halliwell Collins and Selena Harvith Myers, otherwise known as KallMeKris and Selena Spooky. Chris and Selena actually do run the 2 largest TikTok pages of all Canadian creators from the last time I looked it up. And yeah, I mean, the collaborations list is just endless. You can check out their channel. Just type in Sam and Colby, and you'll see tons of it on YouTube with different guys. FaZe Rug was even another one. I mean, it's endless with how many different collaborations they've done recently, which I think from a marketing standpoint was great, and even from a friendship standpoint, 'cause it seems like they have remained friends with a lot of these creators. As mentioned earlier, eventually Sam, Colby, Corey, Arron, and Jake all did up moving in together. They called this collaboration the Trap House. Jake was the last person to join the Trap House, and this was announced in a video released by Colby called Our New Roommate. Trap House was the first time we ever saw all 5 of them on camera in the same room together. They all knew each other, said they've hung out before, so it's not the actual first time they had all 5 been together. They did make a TikTok page called The Trap House that gained 870,000 followers. I do feel like it could have gained a lot more, but until they didn't put a ton of effort into this, it was just like a little side project. From what I've heard, the TikTok Creator Fund is a joke. There's not a ton of money to be made on it, so I wouldn't put a lot of effort into that either, when YouTube is obviously their main career path. These 5 collaborations end up being a great move because everybody was able to grow together, make videos together, and be able to cross fans. But their biggest draw of all of this was the prank wars. They had an all-out prank war, I believe, was once a year, and there was no limits. The Trap House didn't end at 5 though. Eventually, Elton moved in, and man, the prank war is where he shined. One video, he ran out a forklift to make a makeshift 8-foot-tall hand and do the ultimate smack prank. This was actually in retaliation for Sam and Colby dying Elton's dog, Zerka, pink. Unfortunately, not everybody in the house did get along. It said that Corey and Elton used to bump heads and get into very heated, very often arguments to the point where Elton said, "I'm done," and moved out. Which is funny because now they've built a second YouTube page that's striving together. During quarantine, the original 5 ended up moving into a separate house altogether, which was called Trap House 2.0. They announced the second one in a video called Welcome to Trap House. They lived together in a separate house for a year. After that, they all moved in their own apartment separately. And sadly, this is where it led to them slowly branching away from each other on social media. Like I said, I do believe they are also friends, but this is where their content collaborations started coming in and less often. Sam and Colby stayed together as expected and continued to film every video together, but collaborations with the previous Trap House members are very few and far between. Corey and Arron frequently do TikTok live battles against each other. Corey also helps out Elton in the Overnight channel, and they still do some collaborations between other members, but most of the time it's not, and hasn't been a video since this move where they're all together again. I know it seems like Jake is the only one left without a partner, but he has recently been doing a lot of joint videos with Johnny Gilbert, co-founder of the band Till Death Do We Part, and even though him and his ex-girlfriend Tara Thompson, aka Tara Yum Yum, have been separated, they are still very good friends and continue to do videos with each other. Personally, there's very few words that can make my heart drop at any moment. Cancer is a word that can drive in friends from many, many years ago, friends from all across the world. Fortunately, in February 2023, Colby Brock was diagnosed with testicular. Luckily, he had his friend Sam Golbach by his side the entire time. They will get the necessary surgery 2 weeks after being diagnosed. After surgery, blood work is needed to check the tumor markers to see if another step is needed to be done or if they are okay. If his markers weren't improving, he would have to do a minimum chemo for 3 months due to the current state of the cancer. While going through chemotherapy, a common side effect is hair loss. It can be slight or significant loss. For some time of blood work monitoring, he was given the option to either have active surveillance for the remainder of his life or 1 round of chemo that would knock his reoccurrence rate from 30 all the way down to 5%. On paper, the obvious choice is to take the chemo. He was very worried about the side effects. If you're a fan, you know his signature look is his hairstyle. To get ready to cope with the chance of losing his hair, he would use different Snapchat filters to remove it and brace him in the chance that did happen. Chemo did take a toll on him, such as appetite loss, which led to weight loss, tinnitus, which is ringing in your ear, and mild visual hallucinations. He took a chemo-specified drug called Bilmore, sorry if I mispronounced that, and he even had reactions that such a blotchy and swollen skin. He had one major reaction to the point to where fear struck high, and it really did have him start to worry about the side effects and just everything in general, and his anxiety was going through the roof. Through all this, he did end up keeping his hair though. Let's go over how. Cold capping is a practice that's not actually recommended by medical professionals yet because there's not 100% proof behind it. Through this process, you had to freeze a specific helmet in a bucket of dry ice and swap out the helmet every 30 minutes from 8 a.m. all the way to dinner time, causing him to basically have a frozen head on top of all the other symptoms. Luckily, his ride-or-die best friend Sam was there every step of the way. They flew out a professional to them so the professional could teach Sam how to do the process. Sam was the one swapping out the helmet and the cold cap from him every couple hours every day. Sam did every single thing he could to make sure Colby knew he was not alone. From going to the doctors to the cold cap to going to the store to find more dry ice. Sadly, due to this round, blood work was spiking and the worst direction, he had to get another round of chemo done. Luckily, this round of chemo seemed like it did do the trick. For those who didn't know, cancer is a second leading cause of death, and hundreds of thousands of people die every year in the U.S. just alone from cancer. We teamed up with the FCancer nonprofit charity to help raise money and fund things such as free cancer screenings, personalized treatments, navigators, HPV vaccine meals to homebound patients, and so much more. I'll have a link to the FCancer's website down below on the top of the list of links that I have. These two band kids from Kansas had a dream, and through hard work and dedication, they achieved it together. Most people don't have a single friend that's as dedicated as a few months. These two have it for a lifetime with each other. There's so much more I could go over, but I feel like this is a good point to wrap it up. This has been Sinner's Chronicle. Thank you for listening. Onward and upward.